All right, looks like everything is green and good to go, so let's try a little experiment here. Good afternoon, YouTube. This is the first time I've tried doing a stream on YouTube. I have no idea how well this is going to turn out, if I'm going to have random people swinging by. I just don't know. It's a little bit of a grand experiment to see if this works a little bit better, or maybe it doesn't. I don't know. Now, the first thing that I am trying to figure out, because I am complete and total absolute noob at this, is sharing the link. Oh, there we go. There is a share looking button. Excellent. Okay, we do have a share looking button. So let's copy that video link. Let's tweet that out, because why not? To all 10 people that follow the Twitter. And then let's get a posting up on some Discord channels that I meander around in. Okay. And let's see here. One more. Okay, that is enough advertising. And it looks like I do actually have a person. Excellent. Welcome. Hello, person. And now that I've gotten all of that out of the way, let's get over to OBS. Let's turn off the cat. Sadly, he is an adorable little cat. Start my backup recording for the desktop. Yeah, let's get to work on some Unity stuff. Yes! It's a little bit of a cloudy day out here in Kansas. A good day to stay inside and do some level creation, in my opinion. Alright, so what we got going here? We have got a basic level that I am working on as a demonstration for my Game 105 students. So a little bit of context for those that might not know. It's an introduction to game development class, and I am doing this according to the expectations I have for the final project. So I am not looking for perfection here or, publishing ready quality. Some very specific things that I am, basic level quality targets that I am looking for here. And so as it stands at the moment, using Cinti Studios assets, just because I wanted to get a little personal practice in using the Cinti Studio stuff. So we have a Cinti Studio night using the nature and adventure sets. I think I need to turn down the sensitivity on the rotation here. It is a bit much. And then this is an adorable little chicken. It's not a Cinti Studio chicken, but he is an adorable little chicken. And the chickens are going to be part of the gameplay. The idea here is that we got our little outpost home here. I use the term home loosely. And our chickens have escaped or gotten spooked out of the pen, and so we are going to have to go adventuring around in our landscape here to find our chickens. And it's a very basic setup. And the water is death. Going into the water just basically resets the level. Partially because that is one of the requirements. You need to have something that is going to reset the level. And because I honestly did not want to be bothered with trying to make the under the water look intelligent. So if I did not have that plane there blocking the view, I'd have an extra several hours worth of work. All right, so while I'm thinking of it, actually, there's a couple of things here I need to get to keep my things organized. Get things moved into props. Do I want... Okay, so I got a fence category. You know what? Let's make a plants category underneath props here. So I can keep a little bit better track of everything. I don't think I have any plants in there yet. I don't, so grab the plants here, yoink that into there. Again, the reason why this is a good idea to do is as a scene gets more and more complex, it becomes more and more difficult to see everything. So like if I just, is there a way to expand all? I don't think there is. But if I was to go through and expand everything, get the idea. It's a little bit of a mess, isn't it? I open up a new hierarchy tab. Will that have everything collapsed? It will. Excellent. We'll do that. So close tab. Whereas this is a lot easier to look at. So trying to keep everything reasonably cleaned up here. Let's see here, expand out props. Have a rock pile. Oh yeah, rocks goes into rocks. Actually, I should probably move rocks into props as well. Collapse that back down because I don't need that. Terrain, ground small, drop that into there. Drop my fire into props as well. Chicken, I need to figure out what I'm going to do with him. He's not actually going to be staying around. I guess that's going to get moved. So the main target for this session is to do just one small little tidy up on the terrain and then move on to gameplay logic. So if I go back and look at my list of requirements, which again, even if you're not doing something for an assignment and you don't have a convenient little checklist like this, you should make one for levels. So that way you don't forget to do anything. You know, a little level design checklist. That way you can keep track of what your requirements are, what you can do, or what you should do, what you shouldn't do, etc. So looking at this, yeah, everything has appropriate textures. I'm done with that. Has appropriate vegetation and models. Yeah, I've done that. I mean, I'm going to do a little bit of tweaking, but as far as fulfilling the terrain requirements, I've got everything done. What I plan on working on today is primarily this, the has a goal. I've already checked off all the player character stuff, the controller, over the shoulder, forward, backward, rotate, left, right, and jump. He's animated, textured, so yep, I got all of those. Completely haven't done anything on the main menu yet. And I haven't done anything on audio yet. The audio is something I'm going to be doing, for the most part, off-screen. Because that's mainly going to consist of me listening to audio tracks, trying to find the one that I want to use, and then using it. Not really much in the way to actually demonstrate there. Oh, and it looks like I've left Steam up and running, so I need to deal with that for a moment. I don't want pop-ups showing what my people on my friends list are playing, so give me just one moment. Let me pop the overlay back up here real quick so I can deal with this. Steam, go away. See, is there anything else on this list? I should probably get rid of that, although I don't think it generates pop-ups. And okay, I should be good to go then on that. Let the crew consume the trust. Let the sin swim and drown. All right. The world shattered into dust. So a little bit of tidying up on the level here. And that is, I'm going to have one chicken over here on these rocks. So I've got a little path sort of leading over to here. I also need to do visibility checks on my walls as well. That's something else I need to do. But yeah, so I'm going to have a chicken over here. So I got a little path leading that way. I'm going to have a chicken over here, which will be quite visible as you follow this little path. You should see the chicken. If nothing else, you should definitely see it once you go across this bridge, because it's like, bridge. It should draw the player's attention. But what I want to make sure that I have is a path that runs between these bridges here and up into here, because I'm going to have like a little stone circle over here that I'm going to put some chicken on. So first thing I need to do, let's do the path. So switch over to terrain, switch over to the paint. Oh, I'm already on paint texture. Could use more terrain layers. I might off camera come back and try to use some more terrain layers. Let's check my brush size and opacity. Is this? I'll have to move some of the trees. I wish the trees wouldn't disappear whenever I clicked. There we go. And path snaking around like that. Now to deal with trees. So switch over to the tree tool. Shift click to make sure that I don't have any trees too close to the path here. And then I'll make sure I have a nice little clearing here to put the chicken down on. Okay. I don't really have space to put a path here, so I think I'm just going to leave this island as is. There's a tree over here that I need to get rid of. Let's brush size 1. There we go. A little unintentional blank spot there, so I think that will work well. Let's see here. Let's fabs, rocks. Leave one on rocks there, and one on plants. Boulder. Yes, toss here. Rocks, large. That is a very large cluster of rocks. Why not? Let's. Let's see here. Let's definitely change that to global for dragging this guy around. There we go. And switch back over. Make sure I don't have any trees like growing in the rock, just things around it. That tree's a little bit close. There we go. I don't know why water got selected. Let's get that rock. Into my rocks category. Nope, I want the using the leaves variants.
When your borrowed time is through, I'll be with you. Redemption blue.
There you go, just a little bit of color. Try not to spend too much time on things like that right now. Get things cleaned up here.
No man can truly outlast all the mistakes of his past.
Okay, now on the rocks, let's see here.
That's safe from my memories.
Rock wall.
Borrowed time is through. I'll be with
I think that'll work pretty good, actually. We'll do it like that. Let's drag you down into the rocks category. Now that I've done that with that one, oops, you can duplicate this out. You know what, let's switch to the Omni widget, because I am not going to be... Ooh, right. Now, something I need to do before I get too carried away here is that this needs to... Well, I guess this needs to be flat. Do I want to have the chickens moving around or not? Probably just have the chicken idling and doing its look around animation. So I don't need this area actually to be flat. If I was going to have the chicken moving, I would need the chicken to be on flat ground just due to how it is set up. Actually, you know what? I think I am going to flatten this ground anyways, so just make it a little bit better, I think. No, not raise lower, set height. I think it'll just look a little bit better. So let's fuzzy brush. Okay. Not quite that big. Maybe 25. 12? 12. 12 looks good. Let's turn down that opacity. Let's see here. Set height. Let's set the shift click to grab that height value there. Flatten it out. Now I can go back to duplicating out the row. Hello. Nope. rotate and move this one in a little bit. There we go. And based on that, let's modify that path a little bit. So let me... Size 5? That still actually looks a little bit large. Size 2? And let's get a nice mottled one. Let's 16. There we go. And that is going to end the work that I am doing on let's actually move my collections up here. Again, purely organizational, has no impact on functionality. So that's going to do it for... stretch your hair a little bit. That is going to do it for what I'm looking to achieve for the terrain. And now I want to focus on functionality. Like I said, I am going to have... Now, let me just grab the basic chicken prefab here and just put them down as place. All right, you know what? Let's just grab cubes. So I plan on having a chicken here. Chicken up here. So there's 2 chickens. I have a chicken over here. That's 3 chickens. I was wanting 4 chickens. Not due to any specific requirement, just... No, I'm also going to see here, put another chicken over here, I think. The reason I'd want to have one very close, but nearby, is again, it's a good way to teach the player if, they're told, they're going to be told at the beginning screen, and they know going into the game that they need to rescue chickens. And so if they see a chicken almost immediately, they walk over to the chicken, and they pick up said chicken, and it gives them an icon and everything, and then they go and immediately return the chicken. That's an excellent tutorial loop. Especially if, if I go near here, I get a message saying, all the chickens have run away. I'm still unsure whether or not I'll have the player need to come over here to grab fruit. The first thing I'm going to work on is just getting the chickens in, see how long that takes, and seeing how long it takes to actually go through and play that. So let's get a big rock. Let's look at our rock piles, or rock clusters. It's more of a flat rock. Bridges, wicked are the pillars, rush us till we fall. All this lies, but raven in the rise, still casting a shadow for all. And we try big are these cave interiors, out of curiosity? Not too big.
We tell it to the page.
Replace the inside there with some dirt. Or better yet, just raise up the terrain here a little bit. Okay, I lied. I'm not done with the terrain yet. I kind of like the idea of having the first chicken in this cave over here. That will definitely draw the player's attention. So, raise lower terrain. Definitely want a soft brush here. And let's do a very... Okay, so it looks like maybe about that high. Let's use set height. There we go. Let's set that's actually all the way back here to give us a little bit more of a cliff edge type scenario over there. Now let's switch over to smooth. Let's really crank up the opacity and relax and melt those edges. I don't want trees growing on the edge like that. So make sure that gets fixed. And now I can come in here and paint holes. Thank you, Unity, for finally giving us the ability to paint holes. Of course, I am going to have to put in some ground here, because now my ground is up above here. Ooh, and I need to put some rocks there. Okay. No, I don't need to rename it. There we go. Okay. I'm gonna need ground, so let's go to terrain. No, don't need. No. I mean, all else fails. Can put in a plane. Let's see here, those are dust piles, grass edge roots, ground mounds. Prefer it if those were not green. Now they have a very different definition of ice than I do. These are background mountains, riverside. You know what? Let's see here. Rock. Could do a rock wall. That is rotate it on its side.
I am rebirth. I am the tear in the tide. Wait till when I die again. I am rebirth. Cycle of spirit denied. Get back up and try again.
Oh, there we go. We have rock tiles. Never mind. I still might still keep one of those, I think. Let's see here. Rock tile. Oh, yeah. That's beautiful. Of course, the main question is, can the player still walk in there? It's a little bit hard to see, so before I get too much further carried away here, let's grab the hero and yoink him over. See how smooth it is to walk in here. Okay, pretty smooth, and I can get all the way into the back fairly easily. Now, camera clipping is going to be an issue, and that is not something I'm going to try to solve. Camera controls are a touchy thing, and it's not something I would expect my 105 students to be able to handle or deal with, so I am not going to worry about it. So what I do need to do is finish tidying this up. So it looks like I've got a tiny little hole right here that I need to cut. Paint holes. Clicked several times before that actually worked. I don't see any other random holes appearing, so I don't think that is an issue. Okay, I think that's... Oh, actually, let's raise it up. What the... Hand got off-shifted there. No, I'm not liking that one. Okay, so... Pile 4 is a bit... flatter, and I can just put a... regular old rock here. Okay, with another... basic rock there. This is the one issue with cutting holes in the terrain. It can be a little bit of a pain. Actually go through and validate. Looks like this is my last spot right here. I think that works pretty good. So let's take a little visual look.
And when the clouds are blotting out the sky, I swing upon the silver lining, yeah.
And see what we got.
I fling away your troubles, yeah. When I swing by, you shine. And
And I think some of my issues too I can solve by painting. Okay, so I think that looks good. Let's get a rock material. So while I'm thinking of it, let's turn down the sensitivity on the mouse rotate here. That is being really twitchy. That feels a bit smoother.
And when the clouds are blotting out the sky, I swing upon the silver lining, yeah. And when I swing by, I fling away your troubles, yeah. When I swing by you,
Let's get
and I know that life can offer me a strong.
some rock material painted down here. So texture, we'll go with this. Let's
I know it's not easy, so much is gone. But keep growing, keep dreaming, and go pass it on. And when I swing by, I fling away your troubles, yeah. When I swing by, you shine. And I know
get that.
would be a struggle, but you soon be feeling fine when I swing by. When I swing by. Oh yeah, here I go. Oh, here I go.
Okay, not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but does a little bit better job of selling it. Let's increase my brush size, decrease that over.
I've gazed across the waves beyond the shores that hold me. I've watched the mountains fall in stories that they told. Ever fixed, ever firm, resolute in all I learn. Bittersweet, I turn to face the ocean cold.
There we go. Get some of the rocks layered onto there.
Right into the fire, strike down through the burning borders, race out of the tide. Come carry me forward.
Help sell it a little bit. And so I'll have a chicken in here. So, hey, why do I only have... Okay, 3 cubes. Yes, 3 cubes. And this will be...
This is a
4th. Sitting in there.
follow the future,
Now, it's important to check.
loose.
Playtime. How long is this going to take?
I walk around in
Oop, and I'm not at my start point here, so let me yank.
I grow into this sense of wonder that I found.
Let's get to here up towards the top. Ooh, and I gotta get these rocks put up, so let's do that first.
Destroy every soul here is a two-way battleground.
Okay.
Walk a little wiser.
Grab the hero and yoink the hero back to the approximate
Into the fire.
start point.
Strike it down through the burning border.
So the idea, this is something I do as I'm designing the levels. I'm always trying to think, even if I don't have the mechanics in place yet, is I'm playing the game in my head. So it's like, okay, I start off, I have maybe a little dialogue box here saying, that was a vicious storm last night. I should go check on the chickens in the pen. Come over here, get the message that, oh no, all the chickens have fled. And if I look around, I should be able just to immediately see this chicken over here. So I'll be able to walk over here, pick up the chicken. And return the chicken. So now I need to explore. So I'll see the path over here. And this is a little bit long. Either need to do something, I think. That's a little bit of a long walk there to have nothing happen. Now, again, part of this is, yeah, this is very deliberately simple because it's a basic example for people that aren't used to using Unity. It does bug me that this is, even as a basic example, this is a little bit of excessive walking. And in my opinion, by the way, this is what people mean when they complain about backtracking. It's backtracking that has no point or interaction with it. So that little bit of backtracking right there wasn't interesting. I need to do something there. Now, over here, again, I might need to tweak my jump power a little bit. But the intent is that as I'm coming over here, okay, yep, I see a chicken. See the wall, nope, I can't see the Stonehenge wannabe from this distance. But so far, following paths has led me to chickens as a player. So when I get over here, I still remember there's a chicken over there that I've seen. There is a path going off that way, so perhaps that could also be a chicken. There we go, and I found another chicken. I can do a little bit of a shortcut there. And now the real big issue is E. I gotta walk all the way back over here. This is still a bit of a walk. Again, backtracking. This is not the best. And this is where traversal systems can really come into play. Okay, so I've returned the chicken. Now I gotta go all the way back. So this is where traversal systems can come into play for making stuff like this a lot less aggravating. So if you've perhaps if you've played Shadow of Mordor or Shadow of War, it has a interesting navigation system where if you're running and you jump over a small little obstacle and you hit a timed button press, you get a burst of speed. And so it makes that running around a little bit more interesting. Or in Nier Automata, You can dash, and you've got cool little double jumps that you can do. You can jump and dash in the air. Warframe, of course, has all kinds of crazy flips and stuff that you can execute. And there's the final chicken. Why do I walk all the way back? Maybe, I think maybe I either need some sort of dash and stamina system, so that way I can dash along, or maybe if I press a dash button, dash forward, and then if I properly time a left click, I can instantly get all of the stamina. So dash for a moment, release, click, dash, release, click. So that way I have something mechanically to do while I'm walking. Because otherwise, yeah, gameplay of the year right here, am I right? But this is also why you go through and you constantly test and you test and you test and you test and you test. Because it calls attention to your deficiencies in your design. Yes, okay. So I think as far as navigation is concerned, that is clear enough. Let's connect this path right here to really drive home the connection between, no, not that brush, to really drive home that connection between, if I follow this path, I will find chickens. I meant to adjust my opacity, thank you.
They darken the lights and the lamps. Our time's gonna come around. The red sun is going down. There's a sting on the gasp on the brass now. There's a mark on the wrist and the back.
Sure, those
Raw rings in the cycle of death.
points are well adjusted.
The red sun is going down.
Okay, so that really drives home then the connection between paths and finding the chickens.
Turn my eyes away and watch the setting sun.
So let's experiment here for a moment. This isn't definitely not level design or level creation. I really want to see if I can't get that dash mechanic implemented. Of course, the challenge here, due to the restrictions of this being for my introduction students, have to do this in Playmaker, which I can't say that I'm the biggest fan of doing this. But it is what it is, and I need to think about how can I do this with Playmaker. So I have my movement here. I think maybe another state machine, because again, it's like I'll worry about performance when I have measurements telling me to worry about performance. I'm probably also going to need to modify my animation, because I need to know whether or not I am sprinting or not. Let's check my animation. Is walking. Oh, right. I can't modify prefabs. So let's... There we go. Okay, so movement. In the axes, I'm checking for jump. I have a movement speed. So what I think I can do, let's create a base speed. Set that to the same as move speed.
Turn my eyes away.
I'll do that through setup here. So actions, float operator. Not I said no. Set float. Set float.
Step out into the sunlight, emerging from the
There we go. So I will set the float move speed to base speed.
we walk the sunken highway.
And of course I need to make sure that, what's my current 5? So I'll set base speed 5 as well.
We're starting over, build something new. We've been a long, long time away.
And
We're starting over, red, white, and blue.
I got game logic, so I'm checking for triggers here.
These West Virginia wildwoods across the world of waste, a garden with no fences and no gates.
So I'm going to need to do a lot more, I think, with game logic. So we can put it here. So let's say I need stamina. So I need max stamina. I need stamina. I am going to need stamina drain.
It's a brand new American dream for me and you. And like a mushroom cloud we rise.
Let's go into, not package manager, project settings, input manager. Fire 2, Fire 3 is bound to left shift. Let's rename this to Sprint.
We're starting over, build something new.
Left shift mouse 2. Let's take away the mouse 2 binding. I do not want that. So it'll be Sprint, and even though I don't think anyone's going to be playing with the controller, let's also change the controller bind. Okay, so we have the Sprint. It's bound to left shift. Now, what do I want to do? I want to... I need to check for sprinting. If I am sprinting...
Sometimes we drift too far, there is no way.
I need to set the move speed.
So we the steer will collide. I've sailed a sea of stars.
While I am sprinting,
Something's
I need to be draining my stamina.
What you gonna do when the
I will need to, at some point, stop sprinting.
I'll keep on having this dream inside the static. I fall outside of myself. I cover at the seams inside the panic. I fall outside of myself. I'm not myself. I'm not somebody else. I'm not myself. I'm not. Don't think of what
You know what? I think I might just rename. Let's see here, game logic. Yeah, let's leave game logic for. I don't want the reset level. Let's leave this for running into triggers and such, and let's create a new state machine.
I keep on having this dream inside the static. I fall outside of myself.
What the?
I come apart at the seams inside.
Okay.
I fall outside of myself.
That was weird. Sprint FSM. What incarnations? There we go. I was like, what is going on here? And go back over here to logic, because I don't actually then need the variables over there, but I will need them over here. So once again, stamina, max stamina, stamina drain. We'll start off by always setting stamina, max stamina. Oh, and I also need stamina regen. Okay, so let's say I want to have 1,000, 1,000, let's say 5 seconds of sprinting. So I will set. Give myself plenty of room here, I think. So let's set max stamina to 120. Which, let's also reveal this in inspector, drain in inspector, and regen in inspector. So that way I don't have to come back into the state machine to modify these. I want 120 stamina, should last me 5 seconds. So I'll have my stamina drain in 24 seconds. And let's say it'll take 10 seconds for my stamina to come back if I fail the mini game. And so that will give me stamina bonus. Also reveal that. So let's see your stamina drain. Tooltip per second. Stamina regen per second. Stamina bonus. Well, let's give it. Let's say it'll be worth 3 seconds worth of stamina regeneration. Leave notes to myself, so that way I know what those are for. Okay. Oh, goodness gracious, it's been an hour already. How the time flies when you're having fun. And I don't know about anybody watching the video. But I can assure you, I'm having actually a grand old time trying to figure all this stuff out. Alright, so. Checking for sprint. So that is going to be. Let's say at any time. Now, see, here's the thing. I got it. It's like, am I moving or am I not moving? Guess I could check the axes. Do the same thing that I do in animation. Get the axes, do the absolute value, sum them together, and do a compare on it. Which would force me to go into a new state. So you know what? Let's do that. Let's grab is walking. Hop over to sprint. Paste that in. That should have also brought along the variables. Yep. Now, if I'm not walking, I can regenerate. Now, stop sprint is where I'll trigger the mini game. And so here, I can say, okay, so this will go off to regen stamina. This will go into checking for the sprint. This is every frame. All right, so regen stamina, that's actually a pretty easy one. I need to add my stamina regen to my stamina, check to see if I need to reset it, not let it go above its maximum, which is going to require yet another state. Thank you, Playmaker. Because anytime you do any kind of comparison in Playmaker, it triggers another state. Because there's, at least if there is a way, I haven't figured out how to do it, there is no way that I'm aware of to do an if statement and have both conditional branches in the same state. So I will float operator. Do I have a per second? I don't have a per second option here. Is there under math float add? Do you have a per second? So that way I don't have to deal with time.delta time on my own. Okay, so I will add to stamina. We'll add my stamina regen, and this will be flagged as a per second. And then I will do a float compare of my stamina regen. No, not my stamina regen. Of my stamina to my max stamina. Which I probably should rename that to keep consistent. Whatever. Shouldn't need a tolerance. Oh, since I'm not doing equal than, doesn't matter, but whatever. Put in my tolerance. I'm going to say if it is greater than new event, I'll do a cap stamina. And otherwise, I will fire off a finished event. So let's get both of those in. The finished will go to a wait for frame. Actually, you know what? Probably going to have a couple of things going to this. So let's remove that. Let's come over here to events. Let's do a frame rate. So let's add a global transition. And then over here, I can do, instead of finished, you guys can go to frame rate. Wait. So that way,
Wisdom and wind and power from within we call.
we don't got arrows going everywhere. And this will have a next frame event.
To the fields of fall. Blades ever pull, cracks in the armor upon the world.
There we go.
Out of the
And if I need to cap my stamina,
years.
that will simply be setting my stamina to my max stamina. No, not a trigger event.
I've walked the coiling lines, set back 100 times, winding through worlds of
And do a frame weight. Now, one thing that I like to do in Playmaker when I start doing these global transitions is I like to change anything that has a global transition in it to green, so that way I can easily see where my global transitions are. I find that to be a very useful little trick.
I'll just keep on rising, failure ever fading.
And so now that takes care of my stamina regeneration.
Embers keep igniting.
So now I need to check here. Am I sprinting? So that will be
Always rise again.
a input get button. Yeah, get button. So if I'm just and the button in question will be sprint. Let me just double check to make sure that I made sprint capital. I did, yes.
Been a ghost of flame, a faded fire to claim.
So I will check the button. And I now need to do a Boolean test. So bool test.
I'll just keep on.
After the check button, after we get the button, if you don't mind. Oh yeah, I need to actually store the variable. New variable is sprint down. And if it's true, we are done here. Otherwise, if it's false, then I'm going to go and do a frame rate, which means this is green. So I am walking, and I do have the sprint button down. So I have now entered sprint mode. So I need to actually
Has begun. Once more to the first. Look to the sun. Hollow is the curse. Beaten back, overrun. But I won't be.
let's make this a multiplier. So that way, regardless of what I ever change my basic move speed to, sprint will always be faster.
Failure ever fade.
So let's say 1.25.
Every
So this will need... have a FSM. Actually, I need to set an FSM float this time. So set FSM float, because that's how we talk between state machines. And this will be the movement, and I will grab the move speed. And what I need to do here is, in my setup, let's get an FSM float. Get it from movement. I'm going to get move speed, and I'm going to have a temporary variable. Okay, so new variable, temp. And every so often it's good to have a temporary variable. In this particular case, it's mandatory because, yeah, playmaker and equations is not a thing. So I am going to get movement speed. I'm going to store it in a temporary. I'm going to do a float operator, which should be in this list. It is. And I am going to multiply my not stamina bonus. That should be my sprint bonus. So I'm going to take sprint bonus and the move speed that I just grabbed. Oh, right. It's in temp because I am a ditz. So I'm going to take those two and I'm going to multiply them together, and I'm going to store them back into sprint bonus. And so now over here, I can do set FSM float. And that will be movement, and that will be move speed, and it will be sprint bonus. I am done with that. Now, do I have a float subtract? I don't. Okay, good. I do, and it is a per second. So I'm going to do a float subtract, stamina, subtract, stamina drain, per second. And there's two things I need to check here to bail on for stopping stamina. One is, have I reached 0 or gone below 0? So that will be not float operator, float compare. And I will compare stamina to 0. Tolerance does actually matter here. And if it is equal to or less than, I need to stop. Otherwise, I will be finished. No, let's not do that. Let's do every frame. New event. Stop sprint. also need to check is sprint down. And then do a Boolean test on that. And if it is false, stop the sprint. And then stopping the sprint.
Guest in the basement. Oh, Daddy, can we see? Go tell them that the guest room is vacant. Well,
Yeah, I think it would be best. Let's do another get FSM float here. And this time the float I'm going to get is base speed, and I will store it in base speed. I guess I could store it in temp. Yeah, let's just do this once. And so I will set movement to base speed. And then at this point, probably don't need to do a frame weight, but I'm going to do one anyways.
tell them that the guest room is vacant. Welcome to the family.
All right, now to test it. That's a lot of functionality there. So before I start getting fancy with mouse controls, I want to see if this actually works. So yoink this down here so I can see the transitions happening. Actually, I'm going to have to redo. I'm going to get out of hierarchy, select the hero, switch over to my sprint machine, zoom back out. Oh, itchy eye. Give me a moment. All right. And let's not maximize on play because I want to be able to see this window. And let's see what happens. Well, that at least looks like it is supposed to. So it is correctly detecting that I am walking, so I am no longer regenerating stamina. Pressing shift made me sprint. Releasing shift made me stop. I stop walking. Okay, now I'm regenerating. I should be fully regenerated, so I should be able to sprint for 5 seconds. So, 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005. Any moment now. That is definitely a lot longer than 5 seconds. Variables. Stamina. Looks like I didn't check in every frame someplace. So, let's yoink this back up here for a moment so I can actually see what I'm doing. So, drain... Yeah. The whole can't edit prefab thing does get annoying sometimes. Alright, so drain, yep, didn't check everything. It's always the small little details. So now that I have that, let's move this back down here, switch back over, select. We are on the sprint machine. Zoom it out so I can see the transitions. Normally I would have this on my second monitor, but obviously that doesn't show up when I'm recording. Okay, so 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005. Right about now? Now? Maybe? No? Okay, no. Alright, now it's okay, so I screwed up my if logic there because my stamina went below 0. At least the regeneration looks like it's working a-okay. So if I start moving, it should stop. It does. Okay. Excellent. It should stop when it hits 120. It does. Okay, so let's see what I misclicked on. Yeah. All right. Oh, equal. Yeah. Because, of course, you know, the odds of it ever being equal to 0, it's like, yeah, I might as well go buy a lottery ticket if I'm expecting that to happen, right? So, yeah, I forgot to put in the less than. This is why, by the way, I wanted to stop and test. As soon as I got this functional component done, I wanted to stop and test. Because there's no point in going to work on the mechanic of hit the left mouse button to regain stamina. There we go. Excellent. And I release and can't. No, I don't want to turn sticky keys on. Stop being helpful, Windows. Yep, can't do sprint until I stop. Well, I don't know. Do I want to actually have no stamina regeneration while I'm walking? That actually sounds like a really, really bad idea. Now that I think about it, that sounds like a phenomenally bad idea. So instead of doing frame rate here, let's do a new event. Regen stamina. That'll go up to there. So now, should have regeneration. Hello, why am I not moving all of a sudden? Okay, well now that's an interesting bug. Did my movement? Okay, move speed is 5. Such violence in your heart. Okay, that's a new one. I had to change this. Yeah, that was a completely new bug on me, having to change the state to be able to move again. That was odd. Alright, so stamina's decreasing. And still decreasing. Yeah, I see. Okay, so...
And the more you grow, and the more you know.
The issue here... Let me make sure, back up here. Is...
Look away from lies. Take it back inside.
right here. I also need to check my stamina. So I need to do a float compare before I do the Boolean test. So I will compare my stamina to 0. And oops, and I do need a tolerance. And if it is equal to or less than, I need to regen stamina and do nothing if it's a greater than, because I don't care. All I care about is if it's less than or equal to 0, I need to regenerate stamina. And then I can do this Boolean test. Actually, that does not need to be in every frame, because... yeah, that does not need to be in every frame, because I will only ever be in this for one frame. So now, let's test this again. Oops, and I need to bring this window down. Right. Hierarchy, go back to the scene, select the hero. There we go. There's my stamina. And once again, that... that is the weirdest bug ever. Not being able to move when I switch it over to the sprint state machine. That is just a weird one. Okay. Stamina, there we go. So 120. It's a decreasing. Yeah, this is okay. So, trying to go a little bit too much off the cuff here, I think. Because what's happening is I'm oscillating back and forth. So I think I need to actually have that check sooner. Yeah. That's actually too late to do the check. I don't even want to come down here. Well, let's see here. I think instead of get button down. So that way I have to release shift and press shift again to start running. Well, no, hold on. Actually, I think I'm making a mountain out of a molehill here. Because I shouldn't... if I release the shift button, do I start regenerating stamina? That is the question. Okay, so let's move back. Hero... okay, didn't get the super weird bug this time. Okay, so I've got stamina. I think after I solve this particular little issue, I will call it, because this is already an hour and a half. That's going to make one heck of a video to upload. And release and I regen. Okay, yeah, I was holding down the shift key, so I was being dumb. That was the problem, user error. Never underestimate the power of user error. And there we go. Sprint, release. Now, it does have the odd ability of being able to accelerate while you are in midair, which is amusing. I believe I shall leave it there for the moment. I need to take a short break, help the family out with dinner, because it's getting to be a little bit late in the evening. And then I will be back on later tonight to actually put the chickens in. I got completely distracted by the run mechanic there. But I also think that's a very necessary thing to have done, because that is going to make it a lot more interesting. Okay. It is potentially a very bad... Let me just have nothing selected, hit the run button, and see what happens. There we go. Weirdest bug ever. If I've got the sprint up from the start, it doesn't work. Yeah, being able to sprint and return chickens. And then being able to do the little mini game right there. You know, the timing. There we go. All right, that already makes it a lot more interesting to navigate around. Of course, that does mean now that I have to fix the animation. Again, that's something I'll probably do off camera. But can work on actually getting the chickens in, which won't be too difficult, I say, as a hopeless optimist. Hopefully, anyone who meanders by and has found this video has found it to be useful. I'm still not entirely sure if this one concurrent user I have is me monitoring it through the YouTube studio, or if I actually have someone who's been hanging around with me for most of the time. Regardless, wish everyone a good evening. Cat overlay back on. Let's face it, it's an adorable cat. I wish you all a good night.